I mentioned in the very beginning that I found kava through, a very stressful period of my life. And it was one of those things where I was so anxious about kind of what's going on. To be very super frank and transparent, open about this, I was just having an existential crisis.
Yeah.
Um, I wasn't sure what I believed about life. I wasn't sure what I believed about God. I wasn't sure I believed about anything. And so I really was trying to figure out from the ground up what I actually believed. And it was like one of those times where now I recognize that it wasn't physical pain, but it was a mental just complete blockade that just it put me into the deepest, darkest depths I've ever been in. And I feel pretty confident that I'll never get back to that point. But it was so bad that my wife was reaching out to my family saying, "Hey, like we got to figure this out. Like he's not in a good spot." And I was definitely not in a good spot. I was like, oncoming traffic sounds pretty good to me. I was saying, oh, just take just a little, that might feel pretty good right now, right? It's just a terrible feeling, and it's not like I feel like when you're in the middle of that kind of a thing right now, obviously your experience and my experience are very different, but the parallel or the common sort of effect there was that we could not see 10 feet in front of us. It was, right now, I am in a really bad place and I don't care about anything else. So I understand what you mean by that now. And I agree. It's terrifying and not a good place to be. And I urge anyone who's ever feeling like that, by the way, please just take a couple of months. Like I found that every single time I felt like I'm in a bad place, that it literally just takes a couple of months to kind of reset. Today, it feels like it's never going to end, but tomorrow's a very different day. And the next day will be even different than that. And you just have to understand that today is not forever. And that's an important thing that I learned long ago.
It can be months and months, and in some cases, years and years. Like, it's easy to talk about my situation because it's over, but those were 6 months of the darkest, maybe the darkest time of my life. And I can empathize with your situation. It sounds extreme if you've never been there, but most people have been there, man, when it's like,
Yeah.
there's an easy solution here. And it's easy to be clouded of all the negative domino effects that would fall because it's so hard to see outside yourself. And that's the despair piece. And I'm trying to think of a practical tip because chances are someone could be listening that is in that spot. And I think relationship is a key, sharing with somebody. And in extreme cases, like there's a lot of really good professional resources out there, and people have been through it before. One major thing I learned no one talks about having an issue in your butt until I started talking up about it. And lo and behold, like a lot of people have been through this before and, and, and things worse than I had. And my vulnerability sharing with others allowed them to share vulnerably with me. And there was a certain freedom in that. And it didn't make it go away, but it was a little balm. So for whatever that's worth.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, it's nice to know that you're not the only one.
oh, big time.
And you're
Well,
not.
and that's another thing coming of age, like out of college, we were talking about getting smashed down early on with expectations versus reality is we think we're so unique, and really throughout the course of history, like people have done it before. People have gone through these things, highs and lows. It's one reason I love reading books is because there's a lot of common wisdom where I don't have to learn these lessons the hard way. People have done it
Mhm.
already. I learned the rules, the frameworks, drop it into my life, practice it in faith, and I will achieve the outcome. And it's like hard sometimes. We're not that special, but we are special in our unique microclimate in our lives, and we matter. Like the world needs us in our way.